Oh yeah, right. Just gonna have a little talk about something that I thought was ludicrous when I first heard about it, and the more and more I looked into it, the more and more it made sense. I mean, I love going through conspiracies on YouTube, and some of them are just ridiculous. Some of them make complete sense, and some are, 50-50. But when I saw U.S. government planning fake alien invasion, I thought, you know, this is just someone locked up in a boiler room talking absolute rubbish. And then I put different parts of my research together and thought, oh, who knows? I was looking at this sort of down in Mexico where the US Army's been testing these huge holograms where they could put a dragon, a UFO into the sky. There's thousands of people ringing up the hotline and saying, what's going on. I mean, they got the tech to do that. They had that a long time ago. But I know for a fact they're actively testing that now. Then I look at the Vatican and the huge changes in policy over the last couple of years. I mean, Jesus, I don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it's just 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, where it was heresy to even sort of acknowledge there might be aliens. We're the only people God created us, and blah blah, bloody blah blah, and all that crap. Now they've changed their policy to, it's ludicrous to think that we're the only people in the universe. Now, to even throw a spanner in the works even more, in America they've got this Project Lucifer on top of this mountain in Apache land. Now, it doesn't throw up some connotations that the Vatican Church is calling a Project Lucifer. Okay, it's an acronym, but, a very, you wouldn't call it lucky, would you really? Basically, they're that stuck up their own arse that they're now saying if aliens come down, we'll baptize them. Now, it's the equivalent of the Spanish going into South America times a million if these people come here. And they're just going to laugh in the Vatican if they say this. Now, this is where it brings it back to the fake invasion. Now, anyone that's watching this video knows the New World Order. Final destination, wiping out huge parts of the population, enough to work the land, and total power, all under one government. And even though I'm like anti it, some of it makes complete sense if it was not abused. Now, what I'm seeing is a lot of things correlating with Hollywood. It's all aliens, aliens, aliens. Aliens invading. Some friendly, some blah blah blah. But it's all subliminal. It's like bang, 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 bang. I see these holograms being tested on. I see the Vatican, one of the most powerful establishments in the world, losing more and more power every year. Now, we could go on for hours, but anyone with a bit of a brain and look at what's going on in the Vatican, look what's been happening over the years, and look at the developments, pretty much knows that inner circles of the Vatican Church, they're not Christian, they're not pagan, they're just something else. It's just everything else is just a facade. I mean, Jesus, it's like they're a cult in there, So we got all these things accumulating. So when the first time I saw this, I thought this is absolutely gaga. So this sort of makes sense. To then looking at some of the biggest power mongers in the world who obviously do business together, look after each other, and probably essentially are the same thing. All with an agenda that would absolutely suit having an alien invasion. So you've got the US government, total power, already martial law being brought in and practiced really in the FEMA camps and all this malarkey. So then you've got the Vatican, this Project Lucifer looking for extraterrestrials, now saying it's ludicrous to think there's not, where they used to burn people on the stake back in medieval time. I mean, that's a pretty big switch. There was actually a Vatican priest who claimed they were already here and all this sort of stuff. And he soon got silenced and disappeared off the circuit. Old Ratzinger, young Nazi, made sure of that. Now, I'm keeping an open mind. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying all these lunatics says 2015 fake alien invasion, but what was an absolute crazy thought. Now seems like it could be a totally feasible government plan to control, to bring more governments together, and essentially NWO all under one roof. You know what I'm saying?